Hi, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Take 5. I'm Jane McCracken. I'm the Assistant Director of the Advanced Technology Development Center. We're the state of Georgia's technology incubator, and we help entrepreneurs throughout the state scale successful tech companies. We provide coaching, connections, activities, and more on a virtual basis or from our headquarters on the campus of Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Now, we use this webcast each week to give you the opportunity to meet some of the ATDC team members and to get to meet our portfolio companies. And this week, we've got Adam Gouch with us. Adam is the ATDC's marketing catalyst. And after you hear from him, we're going to take 5 from our portfolio and let you hear from them. Enjoy the episode.
I'm Adam Gouch, the new marketing technology catalyst at the ATDC. In my role, I have kind of 2 tiers. So I help all of our companies with marketing technology. And I would love for any of our current portfolio to reach out to me at the email address right up here. And we can talk about the strategy you guys currently have, how you can adjust it or change. We can also talk about the ATDC marketplace and all the different offerings and tools that we have there that you can use. And we can also talk about possible programming that you guys would like to see in the marketing and sales space. I'm helping organize that. I'm also looking to talk to any marketing technology company in the state of Georgia. We're trying to grow this practice area here at the ATDC. And I would love to meet with any company virtually and chat and learn about what you do and talk about how the ATDC might help. I'm also looking to talk to any established companies that are looking to help our companies with marketing technology, sales strategy, anything like that. I'd love to have that conversation, so let's do that. A couple other more personal asks. I help with the ATDC YouTube channel, and I would encourage you guys to all follow this channel. We are trying to grow the content that's on here, so it would be great to have more followers and you get more news about that. I've also started recently a podcast with one of our coaches at the ATDC, Monique Mills, and it's called Fly on the Call. And we record once a week our phone conversation, and then we just record or edit the highlights and upload it. So I'd love for you to go to aflyonthecall.com and learn about that podcast as well.
Thanks, Jane. I'm Louise Wasilewski, CEO and co-founder of Aciviliate, where we operate our pocket platform that's designed to help vulnerable people through difficult life transitions. We started off focusing on people getting out of prison and jail, and we're delighted to be able to share that we are also now working to help birth parents get reunited with their children who are in foster care. We're all about information sharing between the individual and the government agencies and nonprofits that they're working with. COVID has had a huge effect on our customers. You may have heard about early prison releases, but they are so worried about trying to keep inmates safe. We've seen probation and parole offices closed and officers trying to keep in touch with the people that they're supervising remotely. And the recurring theme is, wow, we have learned that we don't have tools for our clients. All these agencies have been used to face-to-face between the caseworker and the client. And when that stopped, they suddenly realized they had no way to get information from their clients. So that's recognized now, and we are forging a way forward with agencies despite budget cuts. When we empower an individual to take responsibility for their own life, to do their own referrals, to submit their own documentation, to get help when they need it, what we also do is make those caseworkers more efficient. They can stay in touch, so they can intervene on a client when the client is struggling before that challenge becomes a crisis. And they can do so in a contract-free manner. They can do so securely. They can do so auditably. Aciviliate really is designed to empower that individual. They get to share their own information. And by using that approach, it's called patient-mediated exchange in healthcare, we can enable different agencies to work together. The silos are not only due to privacy issues, but they're also due to the fact that different agencies have different IT systems. And so what's really made us stand out and change the nature of the conversations with customers is the fact that with Pocket, they can launch literally in days. We launched an elder care agency in New Hampshire in 3 days. They signed a business associate agreement at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. And we had their staff in there on Thursday, having been trained on Wednesday, and their clients in there on Friday. We can launch without any integration whatsoever. Now, you're going to want to integrate down the road, but what it means is you don't need a big check to get started, but you still have that pathway to integration. And integration certainly is the heart of the way we think. Myself and my CTO have both been career-long integrators. My last project at the last corporation I worked at was a $25 million 2-year nationwide project, 41 integration points, 12 vendors. We know how to do that, but we know that agencies are not in that situation to write big checks all of a sudden. They need immediate value now, not in 18 months' time after a big project. Ways that you can help us. We are looking for introductions to agencies that are trying to get information from their clients and to provide guidance to their clients. We're very much a guidance platform so that the client knows their goals, objectives, and tasks to do. So that could include, obviously, a sheriff that runs a jail, Department of Corrections, probation, parole, courts trying to get drug courts restarted remotely. It could include health and human services, so behavioral health, foster care. We've got a homelessness pilot that's supposed to be getting started in California, any of those areas. And then, of course, as an ATDC company, it's always interesting to speak with investors who would be interested in supporting our mission as we grow in the future. ATDC has been a great place for us to get guidance and mentorship. It's been a great community. To be able to get advice from things, whether it's an HR matter, it's a fundraising matter, it's a financial management matter, and just being able to be part of that community. So thank you very much. I'm Louise Wasilewski with Aciviliate.
Thank you, Jane. So Lucid is a company that we started to provide real-time monitoring tools for drug discovery, early drug discovery. And so there's a huge process of understanding chemicals and how they interact with the body that drug companies go through before they start to put drugs in animals and in clinical trials. The traditional readouts for all of the experiments that they do to get an understanding of their new compounds is sort of like developing film. And Lucid provides really the first real-time readout so that these companies can get a sense in real time how drugs interact with the body and interact with the cells in the body in a dynamic way. So let's see. So Lucid, we started a number of years ago, founded around some oxygen sensing technology that was developed at MIT. Moved to Atlanta, raised our first round of financing in 2017 to develop the physical hardware for the platform. So the platform is composed of a disposable, an electronic component, and then this web platform that allows researchers to get information. We launched and sold the first one of those systems in 2019, and then had a fantastic first quarter of 2020. We ended March with probably a third of the revenue we were trying to get for the entire year. And when COVID hit, we got emails from all of our customers saying, can we just put everything on hold for 2 weeks while we figure out this whole COVID situation? And 2 weeks turned into 3 weeks, and then it turned into 3 months and 4 months. And as you can imagine, like most other things, most of our customers are labs that were not directly working on COVID. And so they shut down and went home, and they don't need to be buying lab equipment when they're at home. So around the same time, we were anticipating a lot of expansion in 2020. We hired a COO in the beginning of March. This COO really helped us accelerate sales for the 2 or 3 weeks before we shut down, but then everything shut down. So I think towards the end of March, we developed a plan to where everybody could work from home if they needed to. A part of my lab does production with equipment, and so that's very, very difficult to run a machine from home. So we had about a week or two for them to do outside of the office, but generally had to maintain some level of operations in the office, which was quite difficult. Let's see, when we shut down, some of the things that changed is we started to look into all the tools that we had available. It turns out we had been using G Suite's, all of their production tools, which had chat and video conferencing, and we've really made use of those and gotten a lot of utility out of Google's tools to really sort of stay in contact. We've had generally about every week with the entire team on Google, and then every day or every other day with different individuals, scheduled conferences. So we've really been able to stay together pretty nicely throughout all of this. But it has been quite a strain not seeing everybody every day. In the past week, or maybe 3 weeks, we've started to see activity pick back up with our customers, but it's really the beginning phases of that, and people are very cautious about that because it does take about 3 weeks to start a lab operation again. And so our customers can't come back for a few days and be productive. So they really need to have a month in the lab before they can start getting data out of experiments, et cetera. But it is starting to pick back up, and we do expect that the interest in biology and understanding diseases is only going to increase based on our experience over the past 3 months. And so we do expect to come out of the COVID era with a renewed interest in my space. So we are preparing for that and preparing for scale. We don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but we are currently investing in sort of marketing resources, et cetera, trying to get all of our ducks in a row there. And then also on our web platform, really updating the front end of that and the back end as well, so that we're prepared to scale in a very meaningful way once our customers start coming back. So if my ask, I guess, would be that we do have an interest in our marketing plan and people to help us put that together, and also in our web platform, and particularly the front end on developing the front end side of our web platform. So happy to speak with people around those two topics.
Hi, Jane. Thank you for the opportunity to showcase our story in front of this audience. So yeah, I mean, basically, we are a small technology company based out of the Georgia Tech Advanced Technology Development Center, and we are very happy to be there. And the amount of support and the resources that we could take advantage of, it's phenomenal. We couldn't have come this far, right, without the support and the advantages. The resources that we could take advantage of, from Georgia Tech, for sure. So what we do is, the mission, the whole thing started with a mission to, hey, let's provide mobile devices to warehouse operators, personnel that operate in the supply chain, and see how we can, make their life better. So the very first product that we came up with was a wearable. So, it looks like this. It's a wearable and a scanner. So, we came up with, we basically took the Apple style of UI UX and put it in the modern mobile device like this, and then we gave it to our users, and they loved it, and that's how we got started. So that's been a great a journey so far. We got some pretty good customers, and we got great reviews of our product, and obviously, right, I mean, there is always opportunity for improvement. So we are working on making our product better and better. So what just started as a wearable has become a platform now. So we got tablets that can be mounted on forklifts. We got handheld guns that we can give it to, the users on the shipping, dock door. And we got, software that we can connect in so many different ways. Before it was just telnet connection. That's the, 98% of the connections happen through that. And we also support browser, and we also support RDP, and, even custom app development we can support to connect to any proprietary systems and so forth. So that's how we've been evolving. And then we got another interesting, request from another, 3PL company. And they said, hey, can you help us develop this and partner with us and get us, help us take this to market and all that. And then we had a rudimentary version of that app, ourselves. One of our customers was using that, and we, basically partnered with them and understood that idea, and developed it as a full-blown SaaS solution. And then, that's called LoadProof, and that's been, going pretty well, these days. And I think before COVID hit, we were somewhere around 70, 75 sites, and now we got 115 sites, and there is a lot of interest in that product, and it's catching up pretty well and fast. We got like one major 3PL in the US. They've decided, hey, we're going to make this a standard for our facilities. And then we got one other company in Georgia. They said, hey, we just made a decision to roll this out to 20, 30 sites of ours, their entire supply chain network. So that's all some pretty good wins that happened after the COVID hit. I think the COVID has definitely been challenging, right? I mean, it's not easy, especially in the supply chain world where you're moving a lot of freight, a lot of products, and you got to have people that are working with you, right? Hand-holding and, making sure all these merchandise is delivered properly, to the final destination. So it's not easy. And it's been tough, but we were able to kind of, change our focus a little bit. And we were able to do more of this load-proof work, and everybody is working from home. For us, I'm here working from my basement. My sales guys are working from their home, and support guys are working from their home, and my offshore team, they're all working from their home. It's not been fun, but I think as a team we have managed to bring all hands on deck together and say, guys, we got to get this done, and we're doing it. And we do come to office, because we have our existing customers that, sometimes the device needs service and they ship it to us, and we got to support them. So I think, COVID is definitely interesting. I mean, it makes us, think through many things that we've taken for granted in life. So I think, we are going to continue this focus, and we are going to continue aggressively to ramp up, on load-proof and get to, a good number by the end of this year. And I mean, I'm still, I was hoping the second half of the year would be much, much better. Everybody is doing, everything they can to make, especially, US and the world a better place. So hopefully we'll get there, and we can all be, have a big sigh of relief and say, man, this is over, right? That'll be nice. And we'll all be in a better place. So, I mean, we've got pretty good traction with that load proof, and I'm looking to, very good sales talent that can come and help us ramp this up. And, if you guys know anybody, please refer us, have them come to our website, and have them come to, we got, Indeed postings and even angel.co postings. So please apply, and we'll get back to you. And, we're looking to hire some great sales talent.
Hey guys, my name is Hampton Wingate, co-founder and CEO of VivaLife. We've been working on a product that helps with patients who are taking 7 or more medications. That's an organization system. And the system itself, we've already sold about 18,000 units direct to consumer, and we're developing a product that we're looking at implementing in the healthcare system. It's an IoT version that automatically tracks when a patient takes a medication, how often they take it, and we can then create a medication log for those healthcare providers. We've been working on this product for about 5 years, and we've sold, again, 18,000 units. We're looking at launching a nationally televised infomercial direct to consumer, and actually at the end of August. So once we launch that product, or that commercial, then we're looking at expanding our sales not only on the direct-to-consumer side, but also in the healthcare facility as well as big box sales. We've already raised $500,000 seed round, and we're looking at expanding our team, our sales team, our development team, and our operations team with our next round of cap raise. The biggest thing that we're going to look at doing is bringing that IoT version to the telehealth space. We've created a strategic partnership with a remote patient monitoring platform out of Athens, Georgia. And that platform, they've already got 4,000 patients onboarded to their platform. And we can implement our product directly into their software platform through the API that we're developing. And we're looking at licensing that API to additional remote patient monitoring groups to really take advantage of the telehealth space and expand our presence in the healthcare industry. So that's pretty much the overall strategy of what we're looking at doing. And that's one thing that's been accelerated through the COVID pandemic. The telehealth space, as everybody knows, is really one of the primary ways that most healthcare facilities are transitioning to keep track of their patients, to ensure that they're improving quality of care. And that's where we really see ourselves fitting in, is being able to help those chronic care patients track their medications and also improve the quality of care from the healthcare provider side, to ensure that the patients are remaining compliant with their medication regimens. And with the remote patient monitoring boom, I believe that over the next few years, once we fully launch our IoT version of our healthcare product, we'll really be expanding our presence in the healthcare space. And we believe that through our next cap raise round, we can achieve this by probably July 2021. That's really kind of our target. So if anybody really wants to discuss the details, please feel free to reach out to me via email, and we can take it from there.
Thanks, Jane. The opportunity to talk today. So yeah, first I'd like to give an overview of how Wasiga came about. I have another software company, and we sell embedded software in a wide range of markets. And in the middle of that company, active selling, we found a market segment that no one would license our software. So we realized that it would be a very easy opportunity to roll into that space with IP endpoints. And so that space was access control intercoms. And so that was the genesis of Wasiga. So once we launched the space, it turned out it was a very high sales process for a limited amount of sales. So it was a lot of activity. But as soon as we launched the intercoms, we started getting lots of requests for intercoms in the classroom. So what we ended up doing is pivoting. And so we pivoted into a set of IP intercoms, just products, so the teacher could make announcements, or the principals could make announcements, and the teacher could place calls back out of the classroom. We also did a little research to determine what are some of the other pain thresholds in the space. And we found that the wiring is also very expensive. So we ended up we have a wiring patent, so we can control multiple classrooms with a single wire run. And so that allowed us to really drive the cost down. And so in the middle of doing all that, our sales were growing. We were trying to get our feet on how to sell, how to market it. And so we ended up coming up with multiple products. So people continue to say, well, I need this product and that product. And over time, it was more of a bootstrap. So we didn't receive any funding. So I still had my other company. So we were pooling engineers, part-time here, part-time there. And so it was a very difficult process. But today we have most of the endpoints. So outdoor speakers, indoor speakers, hallways, even IP displays. So we can, for the children that are hard of hearing, we can display messages that they can read, as well as flashers with different color codes. So it allows different emergency scenarios to be color coded based. But the problem that we had is we were tied to one platform company, and they only had about 5% of the market. So we ended up, we needed to find a way to control the building. And so we have been working on this Carina platform, and that's what ATDC customer discovery has really allowed us to fine tune. So with that, hopefully in October, we're launching our Carina platform. So that opens up about 20x TAM, so about 20 times our TAM. So that's been our big push. ATDC has been very helpful with customer discovery. And so we're excited about our new launch, and we're hoping everything we learn from customer discovery would parlay over into, or not parlay is not the right word, but work itself over into results in the market. So then I guess the next part is COVID. So how did COVID affect us? COVID, it affected us quite substantially. Since we have our own manufacturing plant, we had to end up sort of firing wall different sections of the plant. So that way the employees are minimal contact. And we have had at least one employee who had it, and our effort worked. And so he did not come into the office during his firewall time, and so we've been able to protect it. But the other problem we've had, we made a big push into hospitals, and we had about 30% of our revenue lined up for 2020 from hospitals. That all went to zero. So we have been growing in the past about 2 to 3x every year, and then so far this year we're only up about 50 to 60%. So I had planned, all of our plans have been thrown asunder for everything we wanted to do. So some of the things we ended up having to do is all essential expenses I tried to cut back. We were about to hire about 10 to 15 people. I switched that to zero. So that was extremely painful. But we desperately need a cloud platform to control our building system that we're about to launch. And so that was where our next big development effort was. And so we're now in the middle of doing some bare minimum, I guess, less of not even a full MVP, kind of fake it till you make it. And so that's one of the big changes that COVID has affected us. So yeah, it's extremely frustrating because we've been trying to roll out the cloud for a while, and then now here we are again delaying. And I guess lastly, do we need any help with anything? And so there's two areas that could be helpful for us. One of them is we sell our K through 12 solution throughout all the U.S., but we've yet to sell anything in Georgia, in the state of Georgia. So if anyone has any district level decision makers, that's typically who we like to talk to, or some director of IT, we'd love some introductions into the state of Georgia. So we do well in New York, California, Texas, Florida, all over the U.S. But yeah, I think Atlanta International School, a private school in Buckhead, is the only school that we've ever deployed any of our endpoints. And then our cloud platform is going to be based on spring.io. So if there's anyone who's looking for a little bit of contracting work, so we can sort of fake it a little bit, that's kind of where we're at. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate your time today.
I hope you enjoyed this week's Take 5, and we'll tune in again next week when we bring you another 5 companies from the ATDC's portfolio. Until then, take care.